Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I want to start off by saying it's a real honor and privilege to have May Mahlangu here. May Mahlangu is a pioneer of Stars of Africa. He's just not a player that was developed. He's one of the first players that started out with Stars of Africa. But let him tell the story. I'm going to just be the one to ask the questions so that May can tell his story. And I think this is an ideal opportunity for us to bring a player of his magnitude. We've had many players over the years, but I must say without a doubt, May Mahlangu has been the biggest player. And if you look at some of the players that went on to play in Europe, that is a real privilege and honor for us to have him here today. So May, welcome. Really an honor. You know, we go a long way. You were not just a player to me, you were more than a player. And I'm really, I have goosebumps talking to you and, going down your journey. Let's call it a journey. So maybe we'll start off by you telling us, how was it that you came to Stars of Africa during those humble beginnings?
Good afternoon, guys. My name is May Mahlangu. Nickname Shigisha Gucci Man from Mpumalanga. I grew up in Mpumalanga, Mbalendle Sekunda, 36 years old. It's not a football age though. It's the real age. You know what I'm talking about, Coach? Yeah, that's where I come from. My family background, I grew up in Mbalendle, very difficult. It was not easy. I was 11 years, if I do recall very well. I lost my mom and dad in the same year. If my mind served me well, I lost my father on the 19th of September, 2001. Same year, December, Christmas Day, and then I lost my mom. So it was very difficult for me. Already I've been playing football. Mbalendle, a team called Remember FC, coached by Benjamin Iskonde. At that time when I lost my parent, I thought the world is over now. Following year, didn't I know that I was going to be scouted by Kaizer Chiefs. I went to Auckland Park, stayed there, then I was coached by the coaches, Kaizer Chiefs. They didn't see anything on me, but that was not the end of me. I heard that Coach Farouk was there developing great players like your Chabu, Mahlangu, Skapi Malatsi, Ntantla Kupega. The list goes on. And then I heard that he's going to start an academy called Stars of Africa. It was the dream that he wanted to start with his family. So I had to run away, how brave I was. I was going to 10, 12 years. And then I ran away from Kaizer Chiefs to go to Tafontein to trial. At that time, I was playing as the right winger. Coach Farouk saw me. He scouted me, never went back to Kaizer Chiefs. I knew that I'm in the good hand, and I knew that it was going to be a start of my journey. Came to Stars of Africa 2003. That's when the academy started. I joined them in January. They put us in school. Then everything was smooth. 2005, if I do recall, we won an engine tournament, coach. And then I won the player of the tournament. And then I knew that the things are going to be great for me. And then I remember very well, Coach Farouk bought the status. It was a Vodacom status. We were Alexandra United. At the age of 14, I was the captain of that team. I was very young, captaining big players like your Mambush, Mkunu, Skuru, Mdungwe, Isaac Mabotsa, Chunate, Mashamiad. So I was the young one, but I captained the team. And if I do remember very well, I couldn't speak English. Every time we will have a session, I will stand behind the guys, and then Coach Farouk will ask each and every player what they learn through the session. And then I will hide there, and then Coach will say, hey, my player there at the back, what did you learn? And then I will repeat the same thing that other players said. If they say I've learned first touch, passing, movement, and then I will say the same thing until coach find out that this guy is shy from rural areas in Mpumalanga and he can't very talk to survive. And then he helped me by giving me an unbelt to be a captain. And 2007, I went to Helsingborg. That was my first flight. Flew with Coach Farouk and a player called Moshoeu. We went to Helsingborg to join a coach who saw my talent here in South Africa, Bo Nielsen, former coach of Helsingborg. It was a great trip. Coach Farouk was there. Everything went well. We came back, but I thought they selected me. But they said to Coach Farouk, let May go back to the academy. You need to monitor him. You need to polish him to be a diamond that we want. Okay. At that time...
Let's just pause there for a second. I want to go back a little bit.
Yes.
So when you came to the academy, obviously it was not very comfortable, if I may say so. What was it like moving into Mayfair? You know, we had a 3-bedroom house. We had a table, a steel table you guys just sit on. You had no television. I mean, the start was very... Can you relate to the guys how difficult it was? I mean, we didn't have funds to put up an academy of this stature. We didn't have money. I mean, remember we had a bus. Boza used to drive the BlackBerry. Tell us a little bit about that time.
Yeah, it was very difficult, coach. And moving from Kaizer Chiefs development and then coming to Stars of Africa where they didn't have even a table there. We used to eat actually in our hands with food and then no plates and then we share. So it was very difficult, but I knew from the start that I wanted what is good for me. And I've seen what Coach Farouk has developed great players, as I mentioned before. And for me, it was a motivation because I once saw him, first time I saw him live, I once saw him at the stadium. I think Kaizer Chiefs was playing against Arrows, FNP Stadium. And I saw Coach was next to me, not knowing in the few years I'm going to be working with him. So if you believe, you have faith, anything is possible. So I knew that Stars of Africa, it might be not as easy as Kaizer Chiefs, but we knew what we wanted. Not only me, myself. I'm not going to talk about me only. Also the guys that were there, because we started the academy with the guys. So it was very difficult. Sometimes we used to go to bed without food. I remember very well Uncle Nana. When we didn't have anything, we'll go and, knock on his door, ask for food, money to buy things. It was not easy, guys. Blankets, we used to share blankets. I remember a player, Moshoeu, when I came on the academy, very small like this. And I said to myself, how are we going to make a team with this short guy? So yeah. And then things were not easy, guys.
Tell me, when you came with 3 other players.
Yes.
Can you remember those players?
Yes.
And what happened with those players? Because they were very talented. I think to some extent, at first they showed a little bit more than you. Yeah. But I think your hunger, your desire. Tell us a bit about those players that you came with.
Yeah, I came with 3 players. Actually, I was the 3rd one. I came with Chinino Chiani, very good player. Good with the ball, similar to Dr. Kumar, if I might not be mistaken.
Yes.
And then Paris Satwayo, what a player, a winger, very talented guy. I think, according to me, I thought he was going to be the one who's going to make it. But, in life, if you rush things, you might get yourself in trouble. Sometimes it's good to train. While you are training, you are investing money in your pocket. You are not touching that money. The more you train, the more you persevere, the more you face challenges. You are investing in yourself. A money that you can't touch, money that you can't feel. But you know that you are investing. So in my situation, I knew that I'm investing because I had the best coach that developed players. He's been around, he's seen things. I said, I'm not going to make a decision because of the money. I'll make the decision because how I feel and what I want to be as a player. More talented like I am, these players, but I make the right decision to say, no, I'm not going to FCAK, I'm not going to get the money that they were going to get.
Let's stop there with FCAK because there was another player you didn't mention, Zondi Untombeni. Now, when you guys went home, remember that December, I managed to give you a small bonus, and you guys went home for Christmas. But when it was time to come back, I only saw you. I didn't see Paris and the other guys, and I was asking you now, May, what happened to these guys? Tell us a story. What happened there?
When we were back in Mpumalanga, these guys, because they were earning money, I was not earning money. And it takes a brave young man to decide like that, because they were older than me, obviously, with also praying. So they will influence me, but I knew what I wanted. So when we were about to come back, they convinced me to say, look, man, we have this agent called, I don't even remember his name,
Yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah.
Joe something. This agent wants to give you certain amount, but because you are a captain of Stars of Africa, you might get more than we are going to get. So it's a good move for you from an academy to Mvela team.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be a huge money. But I said, but no, wait a minute. We must be loyal to our family. Don't we maybe want to make a call and call Coach Farouk and ask if it's we guys who are making a good decision? They said no. They said we'll meet at a park station and then should decide. So I left them. They went. They decided. They went to FCAK. Then I came alone. Lucky enough, I had a good friend in me, Mandla Mtunge. I think a lot of you guys know him.
Skuru, yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking to him a lot. Then I tell him that these guys don't want to come back. So if we lose them, it means we are losing the team. So which means we have to start again to look at the players to fit in an academy. So it will take time. So what do you think, Skuru? Should I go to FCAK? Skuru say, no, come, we'll fight together. You'll be my brother. So I think Skuru also play a role of me not being convinced by my fellow friends from where I come from, because it was going to be easy to be convinced.
And then when you got back, obviously now we were in a rebuilding process, but we attracted some good players. Can you remember some of those players that stood out, that went on to play professionally? Besides, obviously, the ones that you've mentioned now that you played with that had an impact. Because remember, you guys became a very formidable force in that league. Even though you were the youngest team,
Yeah.
I think your average age was, all of you were under 20s, and you played against men, basically, that were looking to get promoted. But you still managed the one particular year to finish second in that league.
Second, yeah.
What made it possible? And tell me more about the players you played with.
Yeah, some of the players, I think you mix us with the experienced players. Power from, I think, Tembisa.
Alex.
Alex. We had Kafu from Soweto. We had Stefan, who played for Fedentia at the time. Experienced guy. We had Sally Amis, play for Rangers also, play for, I think, Santos, yeah. So we had a group of experienced players to help the younger ones. So it was easy for us to adapt and learn from these players. And at some point, and then you learn from them, you end up being in the same level as them. So it's up to your player how hard you push yourself to be more than them. So that's what I was doing personally. And yeah, I can mention a few that made it. Sbusiso Kumalo, a very, very good player, a very humble boy.
You went to Swallows.
He went to Saulos, he went to Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns.
Sundowns as well.
Yes,
Super Sport
as well, yeah. So I think he's the first player that made it in our time.
Yeah,
in,
he's the first player
academy.
that was promoted.
Yeah.
He was in a friendly match that you played against Swallows. He stood out.
Yes.
Not that you
yes.
guys didn't, but they stood out. The other thing that you can recall, was the fact that at one stage you were a coach. Can you remember the time?
Yeah, I was coaching young players.
Young players, yeah.
Just to make a little bit of money. The coach will give us something, just to buy toiletry, weekends, go out and then watch movies. Yeah, I was coaching. I had a big jacket, green one, and with a big hat, but not knowing that the future is bright.
And don't forget to tell them about the suitcase you had with the pips.
So big suitcase full of pips and cones and what, and then I was carrying that. But I didn't mind because I was learning the game. So now I understand the game much better than before.
So what you're saying is that you guys were not just players, you were students of the game, because whatever I taught you were able to utilize it. That's why I'm mentioning the coaching. Yeah. But also I remember you used to do a lot of extra work. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning while the guys are sleeping, because I knew that for me to be the captain, I need to lead by example. So if I'm not leading by example, which means I'm failing the coach who trusted me to be the captain. So 5 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, I'm on the park with the tennis ball, and then I'll juggle like 45 minutes before the guys come. And then I'm wet, I'm home. At 6 o'clock, we start the training, but already I've trained. So I will do whatever that they are doing, but which means now I'm ahead of them. I have trained twice while they train one. When you are younger, you can't say you are tired. I was not tired. If you want to make it as a professional football, not as an international football. Let me not say professional football. International football,
You have
you
to
need
do
to
more.
work hard more.
But you guys used to train, what, 3 times a day? You went to school as well, eh?
We used to train 3 times a day. I was training 5 times a day because I will train in the morning, train with the team. Afternoon, when we come back, train, that's 3. And then I will do extras
thing.
alone. And then bear in mind also at 6 o'clock, you'll welcome us to your home. We used to travel, Mommy and Abu Sophia will come and sweat there and pump the weights and what. But and then after that, and then I will go home and then I will still do extra for
Extra
myself because I knew that there's something in me that needs to be out there.
That was it, hunger and desire. But now I want to go down to a time when you guys qualified for the Nedbank. Remember?
Yeah.
All the Vodacom teams. Now I say Vodacom, people tell me no more Vodacom, ABC Motsepe now.
Yes.
Okay, so ABC Motsepe League, which is above the SAB. And the team qualified. And then you played against a team from the Vela League, Bloemfontein Young Tigers.
Young Tigers. Yeah.
But remember, you had some Brazilians in your team as well. Nadim brought, was it 3 Brazilians?
Three Brazilians.
Very good players.
And we had also the top keeper from Kaizer Chiefs.
From Kaizer Chiefs, yes.
I think he was the third choice.
Third choice, yes.
Tumeleng, and
Rory Menar.
Yes.
So we had a formidable team and we played them off the park that day. I think we were a little bit unfortunate because we were in the last 32.
Yeah.
How was it like for a young man to play in the last 32 of the Nedbank?
It was amazing. The first thing that I enjoy to see a jersey written Mahlangu at the back. That was the motivation. Because we all want our jerseys to be written our surname, so that your kasi, where you come from, they can be proud of you, your family. So to see just M Mahlangu, I knew it's May Mahlangu, number 6, the bell is there. So to me, it was the greatest moment of my career because that's my first jersey that I have framed at home to say, you know what, I've reached last 32 and I was 14, 15 years.
And then your journey started with going overseas. After obviously, Zbu went to Swallows, you were the next player.
Yes.
Initially, when you went, it was difficult because remember you stayed with Bo for a while. We used to communicate. It was a while before you got to Helsingborg, which is the top team in Sweden.
Yes.
And there was a lot of frustration. Obviously, I want to discuss a lot more about what it is like to be in Sweden. It's a country where there's a lot of racism. It's a country where you got to do extra to prove yourself. It's not easy, especially coming from Africa. Describe to us, what was it like?
No, starting with the Spusiso Kumali, signed the contract here, and then following year, and then I had to follow to internationally signed here in South Africa. The first player that Coach Farouk produced Stars of Africa to join a team here at home. And then I was the first player to be produced to go to Europe internationally. So it was not easy, coach. When I got to Sweden, the language, I couldn't talk, I couldn't cook. So sometimes I had to make eggs and bread just to keep myself going for days. But I said, I'm not going to go back to Stars of Africa because I knew the situation at home were not good. Now I'm talking about 2 homes. My home here in Joburg, Stars of Africa Academy, and then also my home where I come from. I said I would rather eat eggs and bread for the whole year, but I'm going to make it here. So if I say it now, you might think I'm funny or what. Sometimes you need to sacrifice. Nothing comes easy in life. I remember when I was there, when Coach Farouk left me there, I was even scared to go to the shop because I was the black person in the city. So if they saw me, they will take pictures, make fun of you, boo you, say a lot of things. So I'll wait for the sun to go down, that I can go to the shop, and then I'll wear my hoodie, like sort of like hiding myself. And some of these experiences, I will call Coach Farouk and say, you know what, coach, I think I'm losing it now. I want to come back home. Coach said, but if you want to come back home, what are you coming to do here? You said you want to play in Europe. And it's funny because what you ask for is what you get. Because I remember, Coach, when you sold the Alexandra United status,
Yeah.
you ask each and every player where they want to play. At that time, University of Pretoria wanted me, Santos wanted me, and I decided, no, I'm not going to go to these teams. When Coach Farouk asked, where do you want to play? I said, I want to play in Europe, not knowing that I will end up in Europe. So what you say with your mouth is what you get.
So that was the positive mindset. You had to be strong. I mean, I visited you in Sweden.
Yeah.
I visited you at your place, and you experienced a lot of racism. The first time you signed for Helsingborg, you called me and you tell me, Coach, this coach that I have is a big racist. And my advice, what was my advice to you?
Your advice was easy, Coach.
When you see him,
Was
meet him
very,
twice.
very easy. When you see him, just go to him, smile, greet him, say, how are you, Coach? How are you doing? Have a good day. I'm here to work here. And then that's it. And then every day. But eventually, if you show on the pitch what you are capable of, and then the love just come.
So you showed them what you were capable of. There was a time when the Swedish Football Association wanted you to play for Sweden. Why did you turn them down to play for Bafana?
No, first of all, I was doing very well. So they were surprised that why I'm not in the Bafana team. And I told them that there in South Africa, there are also good players. So my time will come. But they didn't understand that how can I perform so well and then I'm not even called in under 23 or Bafana. And I said to them, I see that you want to give me a citizen for me to be a Swedish. I say, but I'm not Swedish. I know how you guys treated me when I came. So now I'm doing well. So you want me to show the love. I'm not going to show the love. I'm proud of South Africa and I will represent my country. Either we win or lose, I will be there for my country.
So I remember then I just joined SuperSport and I called you and then I got a clip of you playing a wonderful game where you made a run from very deep in your own half. You scored. And I convinced Robert Marawa to put you on the extra time slot. I think that time was it Pitso Mosimane was coaching the team.
Pitso Mosimane.
And when that came on TV, everybody in South Africa was talking about May Mahlangu. Now they knew, because obviously we weren't able to watch Swedish football.
Yeah.
So that was the difference. And then you got that call from the national team and you never looked back. Tell us more about it. When you came to the national team, because you told us some nice stories about when you got to the national team, the welcome, the fact that you came from Sweden, you gained a lot of respect from your fellow players. What was it like?
Remember, Coach, when you come in the national team, you have won, by the way, you have won the Swedish Player of the Year, the Best Athlete of the Year. Remember when they say the Best Athlete of the Year, which means all the sports included. It can be swimming, tennis, golf, anything. So when they name you the Best Athlete of the Year.
Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah, Sportsman of the Year. So it's something big in Sweden. Best Midfield of the Year, Players of the Year. So those awards were too many. So when you come here home, you have players, top players. They want to see
who's this guy?
Who's this guy and what is this guy going to do here? Because remember, when you go to the national team, you are taking other people's position. And it's not going to be easy. They're not going to allow you, because you won the Player of the Season there, to be handed just a position to play. They will challenge you. They will check you if you know how to play football. But then I was lucky enough because they knew my background, that I come from Stars of Africa. Tumele Nkune was there, Anele Ngoka was there, Benny McCarthy was there. And Benny McCarthy used to see some of my games when I play Champions League in Europa. He was very impressed. Stephen Binari is the one who helped me to get in Puma sponsor. So I had people around me.
Yeah.
And you need that in the national team. Respect. You know who's older, you respect them. Even if he's young, you respect them. So it was not easy. I joined the Bafana team. And some of the coaches there, I met so many coaches now. Something comes through my mind now that I met Sheikh Mashaba. At that time, I was playing in Dinamo Bucharest in Romania. And Sheikh Mashaba said, where's May Mahlangu? I raised my hands. I say, what is this team? Dinamo Bucharest is the karate team or what? So it was so funny.
Yeah.
And then I thought, yeah, sometimes, when you don't travel the well,
Yeah.
you might not know the
know
team.
things.
But if you travel, you'll know Dinamo Bucharest is one of the big teams
teams.
that
Oh,
has
yes.
participate in Europa and Champions League.
Big
and
team,
yeah.
big team. Tell me more about the fact that what was it like in your first debut game? You played for Bafana now. You representing your country when the anthem is sung. How's that feeling? What I know for a fact that when I was with Kaiser Chiefs, when we played in the Champions League, when our anthem goes off, you feel goosebumps. You feel like almost tears coming to you. How does that feel for you? How was it for you?
Yeah, it's very difficult, coach, because from let's say the game is tomorrow, today you don't sleep. You like, ish, when is the game starting? You just want to finish the game. Remember, even if you are in the starting lineup, you're eating your lunch, your breakfast, your lunch, and then you're thinking of the game. The food doesn't even go in. You're shaking, and then you like anxiety, like, ish, I want to finish this game. So for me, it was like that. And I was shaking a lot because remember, I was surrounded by some of the players that I used to love, a role model. Teko Modise is there, Benny McCarthy is there, the Khasho is there, Shabalala is there, Ritsolonyane Yeye is there. So all these players that surround Monip Joseph with full of jokes is here.
Yes.
So you can't even eat, you're shaking. These players, I used to see them in TV, now I'm with them. For me to talk like that, you'll ask, but dude, you play Champions League. Why are you feeling like that? It's the feeling that you need to feel. If you don't feel something like that, which means you are not living.
Yeah. And when Tokelo joined the national team, you had your brother now with you, somebody you played with. And you guys used to tell me, the guys you say, Farouk's boys are here now. You have to be careful.
Yes. It's because they knew that we understand the game and we can analyze the game. And they knew Tukelo Randis from the academy. He found me there. I needed to take care of him, make sure that he's settled. And then every time when we'll make jokes and then laugh, they say, Coach is Farouk's boys, this one. You can't touch them. So if you touch them, you're touching other people who are behind him. So I knew what they meant by saying that.
And then obviously you guys played together in the Afcon. For me, that stood out. It made me very proud, a proud father to see the two of you guys playing at this level. What was it like?
The level was fantastic. I remember playing against Keita. He played for Barcelona.
Naby Keita, yes.
He couldn't touch me. That's when sometimes you think, when you recall, you check all the coaches that have coached me in my career. You think, a coach is moving now to Barcelona. You'll be playing for Barcelona. But the coach moved from higher division to a lower division. Even if you call me and say, "May come and help," I won't, because I want to grow as a player. So I think that was me not being lucky by the people who coached me in my career. Because in Afcon, I was performing very well. And a certain team came through, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, a team from, I think, France, Groningen, in
Spain as well.
Spain, Elche. So yeah, I needed to decide.
Yeah.
But I decided and I made the wrong move.
Well, in life, sometimes we do that.
Yeah.
But I think we learn from our mistakes. So post that time, then there was a very difficult time in your life when you were injured. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you are injured because sometimes if you've been good to the game, sometimes the games suck you and split you out. No one cares now because you are not bringing the value in the team. They sign you to play, not to be injured. So I got Achilles tendon when I was supposed to make a big move to go to Fenerbahce. And then that was the chaos of my career. That was 2013. And Helsingborg, the team that I have done so much. And yeah, they didn't wanted to renew my contract. They told me if I renew my contract, they will give me less money. And then I said, no, they should just leave it. And a team called EFK Gothenburg signed me when I was injured. That was amazing. They took me because I was injured 2013 in June. And then this team signed me in January. So I started playing in April. So they believed in me.
Yeah.
And they wanted to sign me for 2 years. I said, no, I'm signing for 1 year. And then I signed for 1 year. From there, and then I went to Turkey Konyaspor.
Before I forget, there was a time when you made a statement when you became arguably the best player in Sweden. Now we're talking about Sweden that produces teams that play in the World Cup, top players. I mean, some of the top players playing in the Premiership start in Sweden and then they move to England, they move to Spain, etc. There was a statement you made with your boots. Remember the boots, the statement you made? Tell us more about that.
No, because I saw when I started that I was not welcome because of where I come from, because of the skin of my color. And I said, okay, I need to show them how I play. Started playing games, maybe 10 games, and then I was doing good. And then I came up with an idea. But also remember, this idea as a footballer, it can put a lot of pressure on you. I started wearing different boots, white and black. And they asked me, the media of Sweden, why I'm wearing different colors. And I said, no, I saw this as a good idea for people to come together, white or black. We should be one.
United.
I started that black and white, and then Puma took over.
Over there, yeah.
I think Puma is owing me.
You should have patented it. You should have made some money. And then again, there was a time when Bafana called you and you didn't come. Sometimes people thought you were arrogant, you were denying the opportunity to play for your country, or you were snubbing them. What was it like? I mean, the media was full of May Mahlangu refuses to come back to Bafana. What was that like?
It's good today that, Coach, we are clearing this out, because I've been asked a lot in where I come from, also in Joburg, people who know me. No, at that time, remember coming from an injury that took me 9 months, but then it took like almost 15 months for me to come back and play. And when the doctor told me that, I think now it's okay now that you can take a break. We think as people that we are fatigued.
Yeah.
You need to take a break.
Completely.
But when I send a letter to Bafana that I'm not going to be showing up, my doctor said fatigue. Yeah. And then they take it personally. I think Coach Shakes Mashaba at that time, he didn't meet me as a person like this. He thought I'm arrogant.
Yes.
Until we met. And then now he has a different perfection with me, how I am as a person. And we also had a discussion with that, because I called him in the room. I said, Coach, I want to talk to you. What you said in the media, I didn't like it.
Yes.
Because you didn't know me, I didn't know you. I know that you have done very well with the junior national team under 17, under 20, 23. But in Bafana, I don't have your records. But I know you are a great coach. So me also myself, I've done well for myself. For you to talk about me like that, I didn't like it. You need to come close to me, talk to me, understand where I come from. And we shake hands and then we're friends. And then he went also to radio, Robert Marau, and said, no, I met May, we spoke about it. He's a very humble boy. He has the respect for elders. Yeah, I think he's a good boy.
Yeah. So it was nice to sort out your differences. So in football, what you're saying to these young players here is always make sure that you leave doors open. Don't leave doors closed behind yourself. Respect, the right attitude, appreciation. Don't be entitled. Always make sure you don't forget where you're coming from. And that's what I think you did, May. Yeah. And that's why you were so lucky. Also, there was a lot of attempts later on for you to come back to South Africa. I know people called me from Kaizer Chiefs, etc., about May Mahlangu. Did you ever think that you would come back and play back in South Africa, having never played in the PSL? Yeah. You were one of the few guys or players that never played in your country but played in Europe.
Remember, Coach, I call myself not even lucky. I call myself the blessed one, which means I was blessed enough to stay in Europe for 15 years. I think you can look at South African players who has stayed 15 years in Europe. There are few.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm one of the first that has played 15 years in Europe. My dream was to play in Europe. My dream was to play for Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and Downs, I could have done that long time ago. Because those managers or coaches, they used to call you, ask you about me. But I always had the mind clear that I want to play in Europe. So I've played in Europe. I have experienced the things that I wanted to experience. Playing in Champions League, playing in Europa, playing with different teams, big teams. Your teams like your Atletico Bilbao, Valencia, So that was my dream. I've always seen myself celebrating like Michael Owen, So for me to come back and celebrate like Sbuda, I will be playing around. But on a serious note, it will be something great, coach. But then I've thought about it. I said, no, man. I look at the standard. I look at it's for me not like I'm arrogant. When I watch PSL, the ball is always out. 2 touch, 3 touch, the ball is out. Sometimes I fell asleep, coach. It's not entertaining unless you're watching Sundowns, Orlando Pirates. Sometimes you watch Kaizer Chiefs. These guys can pass the ball 3 times, 4 times. So me, I just sleep.
So now you're hitting a nerve. You talk about Kaizer Chiefs, but okay, we'll let you go. Tell me, on a lighter moment, there was many funny incidents. Which of the funny, I can recall one, but which of the funny incidents can you recall? Because I recall the one with our juggler Zain, when you guys made him come to my house at, I think it was about 11 o'clock at night, and you told him it was training time. Can you remember?
Yeah, you woke up like 4 o'clock in the morning. We said, Zain. It's training, we are late. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You went straight to your house. Knock. Coach, is training, we are late. Say, hey, man, check the times. Coach, it's 4 o'clock. Let me just go back and sleep. These boys are playing with me. So it was fun, man. We had some crazy stuff at the academy.
You guys were living it in a facility where it was not too much to do. I mean, like at night, you didn't even have a TV. How did you guys manage? Did it bring you closer? Did you guys have a better relationship?
It make you come closer with the players, coach. Look now, this generation of today, not like I'm criticizing. Every time you come in the academy, I always go and check on them. They are always on their smartphones, chatting, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They never talk to Manchester. If now I can point 2 players and say, who's this one? Where does he come from? They don't know. They always on their phone. Yeah. They never talk. A brotherhood, you form a brotherhood by talking. If you talk to your next partner and then that person talk to you, automatically you know this person better. But now I feel that you guys don't know each other. Yeah. You just hear Stars of Africa, but if they ask you, what is Stars of Africa mean to you? Some of you guys don't know. And it's for me, sometimes it touched my heart. I bleed sometimes to see that when I see these boys, they don't put effort. They don't know what the badge mean. It's before your name at the back is the badge. This badge has produced the person who's sitting with the best coach in South Africa. So what more can you want? You must search information. You must go to him, ask. There's senior players here. Masha is here. KG is here. Sbu, the team is here. Go to these players. Talk to them. What is it to be a Stars of Africa player? But you guys are always on your phone, scratching your head, sleeping around. What is this? Are you here to sleep? Yeah, it's not funny. Because from me, I'm the first player international. So I'm not joking if I'm telling you these guys. Football can make your life better. Look at me. Yeah. It has made. But from the man who has molded this crock cold of Mbalendle to be a diamond. You must be well spoken. You go to places, you don't feel shy. Yeah, I'm shy. You speak out. These are the things that Stars of Africa want. Stars of Africa, if you don't make it as a footballer, you can also make it as a good, intelligent player. You can analyze games. You can go to people and talk and people will recognize your voice. You'll be well. People will understand you guys.
I see, May, when you talk, you're very emotional because you feel. You guys went through so much to build this brand. Yeah. I mean, when we came up with this name, we now were talking, almost 20 odd years ago. It was unknown of. Yeah. But it was those guys, you and the other pioneers that made it. That's why I think you feel the way you feel. What is your advice to these guys, besides obviously mentioning to them that they should spend their time more importantly in doing things to better themselves? Because, I mean, we all are caught up in this. I mean, every player today, we had players that we spoke to in the past, and many of them struggle with the social side of the game, how to manage their time. A lot of times we see them on their phones. If you want to be a professional footballer, your advice is, what should they do from when they get up out of this room to when they sign that contract? What is it your advice to them?
The best advice that I can give you guys, remember you are sitting next to your friend or your player, football player. But when you make it alone. Your peers, when you look left and right, they won't be there. You'll be alone. If you fail also, you fail alone. And there's this tendency of footballers that if they don't make it, they end up maybe smoking drugs and doing a lot of things that are not good. But you guys have to be different, bring something different. If you don't make it football, school, you make it in school. So those are two, I think, fundamental of the foundation of a good player, is to remember that your friend, they are not going to be there. You are here alone. Yeah, you are here to work as a team. But at the same time, remember, when you go abroad, you're not going to say, Marsha, let's go together. Then, when they fight me, you are there. No. You'll be alone. And then also take school serious. Because we don't want you to come here and then you start speaking broken English here. We don't want that. You must be well spoken. And you guys are much better than us. The schools that you attend, us, we were going to night school. We didn't have money. Our English is like banana English there. You don't understand. So you guys mustn't be like that. Pozero, when I first came here, I hear Pozero speaking good English. I say, wow, if I can speak like this man. Until I learn English, I say, what is this English? It's good, but it's not good. But you guys are much better than that.
Tell me, in your career, obviously you scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
I know when you were in the academy, you scored some fantastic goals. But what goal at international level, both at playing in Europe and for Bafana, stands out for you?
I think there's 3 goals that stand out for me in my career, coach. There was a goal, I think you were in Portugal. I scored that goal from center.
Yes, I remember the run you made.
Center.
Yeah.
That was a rocket. I was young, I was fresh, energy, I was strong. When I hit that ball, and then I knew that the great things are coming. Because after that, I was not playing. I was given an opportunity to play in that game because other players were injured. They give me the opportunity, I hit that ball. When it went inside, people were asking about me, who's this player?
Yes.
And I had a good friend of mine who was helping me when they were pulling at me.
Was it that
Rashid from
Arab
Morocco?
guy? Yeah, I remember him. When we were in Portugal, we went to it where Cristiano Ronaldo's got a shop.
Yes.
What's it called? Is that island? It says like a...
island, yeah.
And that's where I met him. We were playing pool still.
Yes, so
Rashid.
he helped.
Was he a Moroccan guy?
A Moroccan guy. He helped me a lot. He was playing in England. And then they bought him from England and then this side, So he was so confident. So when I scored that goal, he told me, now you got it. And then everything is right. It's that goal. And then the one we were playing against Kokotenbok, Mandla Mdunge was at the stadium. He told me, May, every time you took the ball, you good running with the ball. Not just running with the ball, close control, nobody touches the ball, how quick I am. Now you guys, you saw me, you think I'm quick. I'm quicker than what you saw. I ran with that ball both using both right and left, from our box to the other box. When I bent that, Bonilson, the coach who selected me, he stood up and said, this boy is going to England.
Yeah.
So I knew that goal was special for me. And then the last one is the one that I scored on Bafana. When I dribbled past Tukelo the ball, he dribbled, I think, 2-3 players, he took them away. And then he gave me a small space.
Was it against Senegal?
Morocco.
Morocco.
Morocco, yeah. So that space that I had, it was a second.
Top corner?
Yeah, top corner, I bent it.
I remember that goal.
So that goal, to me, it went like, wow. These have been scoring these goals abroad. So now in South Africa, they are seeing this May that people are talking about. So that goal meant everything for me.
You know what comes to mind is there's a player that I respect greatly, Moshoeu, John Moshoeu. And when he made a comment in the media, he said, there's one player that Bafana must consider as a player to build a team around. He didn't speak about Teko Modise. He didn't speak about Shabalala. He spoke about May Mahlangu. Why do you think it was? Did you have certain attributes? Because he was also a phenomenal player that played at Galatasaray. He played top football. And what a player, I always say, a player that I haven't coached that I admire is him. What was it about his comment? How did you take it? What was the meaning to you? What did it mean to you?
when coaches said that, and when you also told me that, I thought, no, man. Also, I'm not similar like John Shoes Moshoeu. What a legend, top player. And I know what he has achieved. I respect him so much. But when he told me that, and then I'm like, no, I'm not similar to him, because I used to see myself like similar to Abu Teko Modise, because
Yeah.
Isaac,
You once gave
fencing.
yourself that name.
Yeah, I give
remember.
myself that
Yeah, I
nickname,
remember.
Chansa now, Cristiano Ronaldo now. But when Shoes said so, and you said so, and then I kept quiet, I went to Belgium.
Yes.
I met Penny McCart. Remember, Penny McCart, I was playing with him in the national team.
Yes, I
So now
remember.
he's coaching me in Central then in Belgium. McCart just watched one training and said, come here. He said, you know that you're playing like Shoes Moshoeu. Your moves, how you think, and then that's when it sink in that if compared to that top legend, and then which means I'm something else. May his soul rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yeah. What a wonderful person.
Yeah.
Very humble, didn't say much.
Yeah.
Somebody that always tried to get away from the media. And I say this with all respect, a very good friend of mine as well. When I got to Chiefs, he was somebody very close to me.
Yeah.
And like you say, may his soul rest in peace. Other players that you played with that had an influence in your career, both Bafana and in Europe, besides the ones you've mentioned?
Or in Bafana Lengoka was a close friend of mine. May his soul also rest in peace. I think he's the guy who was pushing me more. And I had also Solonyane. I'm talking about people who play inside. Tumele Nkune was there because he's your product. Yeah, Anne Lengoka, Solonyane Yeye, and then Tumele Nkune. And Sepo Masilele. Those were guys that are pushing me. Would make jokes and what. But and then abroad, I played with Henry Glasson, a guy who's so humble, has a lot of money, but if he sees you, young or old, he run to you, and then he shakes your hand and say, hey, my friend, you from Africa, which part of Africa? Welcome to Sweden. For me, that top, I can give that person top respect.
But you know, you're mentioning Hendrik Larsson. A lot of these young men don't know Hendrik Larsson. He played for many clubs, including Man United, Barcelona.
Man United.
He was a legend at Sweden.
Scotland.
Yeah. He played for
King of
Celtic.
Kings.
Yeah. So a phenomenal player. And I remember when we went together, I met you and Moshoeu when we went, and I went to the restaurant and I was sitting down and he left the players' table to come and greet me. And I was like, wow, this guy, I've seen him on TV, I've seen him playing, and look at the humility. He introduced himself and he said to me, Coach, welcome to Sweden. So, you know, that shows that even having played for Man United and for Barcelona, he still showed the respect.
Also in Sweden, they rate him more as Zlatan. Zlatan comes after him.
After him, yes.
Yeah, also Zlatan has so much respect on him, but also he also does the same thing.
And the other thing that impressed upon me, he wasn't big in stature.
No.
But he was a phenomenal player. You know, he had that dreadlock hairstyle of his big hairstyle.
You might think he's big, but no.
He wasn't big.
Yeah,
you know, when you look at him close by, he was built like our players, you know. But football brain, second to none. And that's the other thing, you know, May, when you rub shoulders with the likes of Hendrik Larsson and the likes of some of the other great players that went overseas to Europe, it does inspire you. So your advice would be obviously to try and aim to play in Europe. I think a lot of youngsters here today sitting here want to play for Chiefs, nothing wrong with that. But I think in your case, you aimed for the stars.
Yes.
And if you hit the treetops, you knew you were still safe.
You're safe, yeah. So if you aim here and then you hit down.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Your family life, your granny's still around?
My grandmother she's 92 years now.
Sure.
I think last month it was her birthday. We made her something good.
Nice.
92, yeah. She's grown. And I have a daughter who's 9. She's 9 years, turning 10 next year, September 19. It's funny because my dad also passed on the 19th of September. And then I have a little boy who I don't think he's going to be like me. That one is cheese boy. I don't think he's going to play football, but I want to bring him here, Stars of Africa, maybe when he's 5 years, 6, so that he can also play with the younger players. We have like players who your little brother, Munir, I see he's doing well, scoring free kicks and what. I want also my son to be like that, but I'm not going to force him to be like that.
Yeah.
So if he wants to drive GTIs and what, he will do that. I'm not going to force him because now he's going to be like a dead competition in the sun.
Yeah, it's not always
Maybe
the
he's going to
case,
be
yeah.
worse than me. And remember one thing also, guys. Yeah, in Stars, I play with top players, great players, good technique and what. Those players were some of them better than me, but they never made it like me. Lifestyle, maybe not sleeping in time, doing the wrong things. But the good players, very, very good players. In my world, I respect two players that I've seen with my eyes. I think those are the greatest footballers coaching that I saw in my eyes. Zidane, you know Zidane? Zizo. Yeah, to play two touch is the very difficult skill that you might try to master. Anyone can play football, but two touch. Zizo and Moshoeu
Yeah.
from Free State was coached by Coach Farouk.
Unbelievable.
Never lose the ball.
Never.
So intelligent, short guy.
Number 6.
Short. I don't think he's his age also.
Yeah.
Maybe he's 55, that guy. The way he thinks.
He was advanced.
Yeah, advanced. Yeah, we were playing like him. When I was doing Mampara on the pitch, coach will tell me, hey, look at Moshe. You look at Moshe, small. Like, this guy. So not only that, I play with these players, but also that in my journey and in my career that I have opened doors. Please welcome Pule Marasani is there, coach, behind you. Yes.
Is he hiding somewhere?
Yes.
What a player. What a player.
Yeah, so I've opened doors for players, Pule Marasani,
Luther Singh.
yeah, and Tukelo Ranti, Ayan Dangili. All these doors were opened by me in Helsingborg. So if I was not doing well,
Absolutely.
I don't think any player of Stars of Africa will be there.
No, I'll tell you something, May. There's a football agent that once came to me. He sent his son to Sweden. And the first thing they asked him, do you have players from Stars of Africa?
Yeah.
And then he came to see me and said, Farouk, how can we get players? Because in Sweden, they're only looking. And I must say, you guys planted that seed. But I want to go quickly back to your family life. You know, you did so much for your extended family. Because remember, you came from a poor family. I remember your sister, your granny. Those were the people that were still there after your parents had passed away. And when you became successful, you even built your granny a house. You looked after your sister. You looked after your family. And that is a dream for every footballer to give back, you know, to your family. And I always taught you guys one lesson that never forget, when you're successful, your parents come first.
Yes.
In your case, your parents has passed on, but your grandmother was your parent now. And I'm sure when you went back to her, she was so happy.
She was so happy, coach, because I remember when those two of my parents passed away, and we were told by aunties and sisters that don't worry, we will take care of you guys in the family. We're still here. But and then after 3-4 months, and then nobody's there.
Sure.
You go to school hungry. You don't have new uniform, so it was very difficult. But my grand, with the money that she was making, she will take from the grant and make sure that I have a soccer boots to go and play football. She believed in me when I was not believing in myself that one day.
Sure. Take a breather.
Yeah. She believed in me that one day I'm going to make it. Did I not know? And then I made it. Sometimes my wish is to see. My wish is always something that I always dream of, that I wanted my dad and my mom to see me play football. But they never saw that. Imagine a grand that has done so much for you, never go to a stadium because she's too old. Maybe when the ball goes there, she's still looking that side. The ball is that side. So she never went to the stadium, but she know, if you say May Mahlangu, that I have made the family proud by putting Mahlangu on the map and also putting Stars of Africa on the map. That's why sometimes when I speak about Stars of Africa, I get emotional. Boza knows. Every time I call Boza, I talk to Boza. Abo Pule knows also. We talk. And sometimes I'm always not angry. I'm always like, it touched my heart to see that we come from different backgrounds. And your background can change just like that. And now, if you look at football now, it can do a lot of things to your life. Going to Coach's point, I built my grandmother a beautiful home. And all my things that I have won, they are at her house. She doesn't want this for me to take these things. And I also built a beautiful home for myself worth 12 million. And I learned this thing when I was young that I mustn't be a player coach that goes and lepaya things. And afterwards, when you don't have that certain amount of money, you don't pay, and then people come and take your stuff. You must be smart. Your things must be your things. If you can't handle it, and then you sell those things. So whatever that I have belongs to me. Is still mine, and the value of houses, it grows high. So for you guys, you can build your mom, your dad. Those who don't want to maybe build for family, because we come from different families. Others, their family, they are good, they have big house and what. But there's things that you can do in life and change somebody's life out there. So I want you guys to give back and change anyone's life. I used to come back from Sweden with full of boots and what, and then I give it to Stars of Africa because I want them also to go there and fetch whatever. Pool and them, they came back and then they did the same thing. So we want this generation to do this. And you see now the level of being a player of Stars of Africa is not to sleep, is to pass our level, coach. If May's level is here,
to try
you
and
must try
surpass
to.
it.
If Pule is here, if Skuru like that, so you can't be a average player. Who's gonna assign you? Who's gonna know you?
There's something that comes to mind now you're talking about investment. Remember the first investment when Mama Wasila told you, listen, I want so much of your money to reinvest. You didn't even realize your money was growing until she told you, hey, Baba, your money is growing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my first bank, actually, our mommy opened for me. We went to the bank. I don't even recall when was it because they wanted the account in the national team under 20. And I didn't have an account, so I took Mama Wasila. We went to ABSA there on the corner, Brixton, where the old academy in the corner was ABSA there. And we went, we make the cut, and then the money was flowing in, and then she advised me to take a deposit plus to save money and open up a AIM account where you don't touch. They take that money and then they use it. The day you want that money, and then that money has at least gain a little bit of interest. It depends also how much you put. If you put 1 rand, which means you'll get 2 rand. But if you put 10 rand, maybe you'll get 20 rand, The higher you put your amount of money there, the bigger you get. So those, I think, were a clever decision for me as a footballer, and also not to rush to buy a car, because every time footballers get salary and then they think of GTI, they think of BMs, Mercedes, Vrupa, they want to enjoy. But then after football, what do you enjoy? And just to fast forward a little bit, last year, I think I was here at the academy, stay with the guys. That was the toughest year of me as a person. Sometimes God has to put you through these things so that you learn who are your friends. And I saw my friends, and now I know who I must trust, who I must talk, who I must spend time with. And sometimes it's good that you can be in an Iceland world alone to rethink and check yourself, Uguti, what is happening with you. Do this thing, they say it's visualization. You visualize, you see your life ahead of what happened. And a lot of things I have spoke to coach, but and then it opened my mind that when I was in need, all those people I was helping, they were not around. And not like I was down and out. It was a moment that God put me in to realize that life is like this. So you guys, when you make money, you should take care of yourself first and then family. Because we have this tendency of black tax. You make it in life as a footballer. Manje, you must buy your father a Porsche, or you must buy a house for who. You take care of your money. Because when your money is not there, even your father is not going to talk to you the way you have money. So those are the weight of the day.
Thank you, May. It was really a great conversation. I think you and I can go all night long or all day long.
Yes.
I hope you guys have taken note. You've now heard it from the horse's mouth. Normally, you buy newspapers. You watch these stories on television. and you see people talking about it. But today you've spoken to a legend that can enrich your thinking moving forward. So May,
Yes, Coachy.
on behalf of Stars, on behalf of the family, on behalf of South African football, your wisdom, your knowledge is needed in the game, and hopefully you will take your rightful place in South African football. Thank you again.
Yes, Coach. Last but not least, that I wanted to mention, guys, do you know who's Farouk Precious?
You see now.
You don't know, guys? Or jokes aside, I have this wonderful message to Coach Farouk. Listen careful, guys. Message to my father, coach and mentor, Coach Farouk Khan. I appreciate the seed you planted in my life when I was still a young boy. I know I have made you proud as your son. May you continue to plant seed and change lives of young ones. Your efforts are appreciated. Continue doing the good work. The May Mahlangu Foundation is inspired by all this work I have experienced at Stars of Africa Academy. I can only hope to go bigger with my foundation so that I can change lives of the young ones, especially the ones who grow up with no parents like myself. Thank you, Coach Farouk. All the best. Inshallah. Shukran.